I wanted to do a video showing you guys how to use the ever so famous beauty blender. A ton of you guys have asked me and requested what's so special about it. Is it worth finding a dupe? Are dupes good enough? Blah, blah, blah. But in essence, a lot of you guys wanted to know how to use these beauty sponges in general. And I wanted to show a couple of different formulas. So I did do it with a cream kind of consistency, which is a concealer. I also did it with a liquid foundation, which is from MAC. I also did it with a powder, which is a loose powder, I should say, which is Nye Banana Powder. And then I also did it with a mattifying pressed powder, or whatever kind of pressed powder you have. And the one that I used was from Sephora. So these are the 4 products that I'm featuring. Oh, just kidding, there's a 5th. I also showed you guys featuring a silicone-based primer, one with more of a silicone slip, how to apply that, because in essence, if you had one that was more liquidy or more lotion-like, it would be similar to applying it like you would your foundation. So I choose 5 top products, kind of step-by-step, what you would essentially use in your full-blown complexion anyway. You know, before applying like bronzer and foundation and such. So of course today's like a no makeup day for me, right? As you can tell, I don't even have earrings on. I'm actually about to head out just to run a few errands. So of course no makeup day for me, you know. That being said, I hope you guys find this video helpful. I also do show at the very end how I personally clean mine, how I let it dry, etc. There are multiple different ways to clean it, so if you guys are interested in knowing different methods to clean it, please let me know. Or if you are looking to learn about like what other kind of looks you can do with a beauty blender, like I did a full-blown contouring tutorial in person with my coworker on how to use it as far as contouring and foundation goes. So if you guys want to see a video like that, please let me know. I would be more than happy to do one like that. Because we just taught a highlighting contouring class at work and I thought it was wonderful. It was quite a success as far as teaching my clients how to do what they do, and a lot of them really wanted to try it with a beauty blender. So that being said, I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you guys have any other additional questions, of course, you know where to leave them. And without further ado, let's get started. And this is how to use this lovely pink sponge that everybody gushes over. I love this little thing. I adore it. I do have dupes of them from other brands. I don't love them as much as I love my beauty blender because, as you can see, they're fairly squishier. There are a ton of dupes out there in general, but for those of you who are like, I want the top of the line, blah blah blah, and you really want to invest in a beauty blender but you don't know how to use it, I'm about to teach you. I get asked this question a lot at work, you know, can you use this with anything, blah blah. Yes, you can. So first I'm going to show you guys how to use it with a primer. Now of course if you were using like a lotion based primer, kind of like Smashbox Photo Finish Light or any of the NARS primers, any of the Makeup Forever HD primers, those are more lotiony. Those you can easily dab in much like you would your foundation, which you'll see that technique later. That being said, I'm gonna do the POREFessional because that's the one that I'm gonna use today because it's a little bit different and it's a way to show you a different consistency to work with. So that being said, if you want, you can take it straight from here, put it where you want it, or you can take it straight from here and put it where you want it and then go from there. So it's really up to you. If you're using something like a silicone-based primer, I highly suggest more of a swiping motion. This gets the product really in there how it's supposed to be, and then you can lightly kind of pounce the beauty blender just to smooth it out. I usually, with a pore-based primer, it's better to kind of, like you would a wedge sponge, you know, lightly kind of dab it, sort of, and then just kind of blend it into the skin. I start from the middle and work my way out just because I mostly only need this primer in my T-zone. So that's how you would do it if you had a silicone-ish based primer. So yes, you can use these guys to apply your primer as well. I had a client that came in the other day and she like literally does not touch her face. Thought it was kind of funny because she did end up itching her face later on, but she meant to say like she doesn't put her makeup on with her hands. So this was like completely totally up her alley. She was like, oh my god, really? It does everything, even powder? Yeah, we're about to go there. The foundation that I'm going to use is a fairly fluid one. I tried to pick one that wasn't too fluid where it would disappear too fast, and also one that blends really nicely. I usually put this on with my hands, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it with a beauty blender. Now again, same concept. You can either dot it on where you want to, boop, 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 whatever you want, boop, 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 boop. You can either dot it like that, or again, like I mentioned, you can take it straight from there and then start pouncing it on. I like to use the bigger end for bigger pieces of my skin, obvi. or you can use the bottom and pounce. So if you're a beginner and you're learning how to use this guy, I do recommend using the bottom or like the sides to kind of maneuver around your skin. Sometimes I will do a method like this. So if you're blending thicker cream products, you're going to want to kind of do like a little bit of a roll. Either way, whichever way you do it, whether you're rolling it or pressing it into your skin like this, whether you're pouncing it or rolling it, you will get a very similar effect. I would choose a method based on what your foundation is. So for example, if you're using something, I'm gonna squeeze this guy and get right in there. If you are going to use something a lot creamier, a lot thicker, I recommend more of a rolling motion. Like for example, if you have a Bobbi Brown foundation stick, it's fairly creamy, fairly thicker. Using more of like a dabbing and rolling motion, much like that, will get it into your skin a little bit better. And I kind of rotate it. If you notice, like I'm kind of like moving it different parts depending on my face. So like I maneuver it like that. I squeeze it to get in there, and then I kind of, you know, angle it this way just to get in like all the nooks and crannies. And then to get in my nose, I usually use the tip. So as you can tell, of course you want to blend along your neck. And it just kind of presses everything into your skin and gives you a really nice, fairly dewy, natural look, if you will. And yes, you can do full coverage with this. So for example, if you have a foundation and you can't seem to build the coverage right with a brush, you can definitely build full coverage with this because it's pressing it into the skin. So you can take a sheer to medium kind of foundation that is buildable and build it up, and it'll apply it a little bit nicer without it looking cakey. So now let's do concealer. I decided to choose a cream consistency because I want you guys to see the different levels of what the Beauty Blender can do. So I'm just literally drawing, and this is a thicker consistency, of course, and I like just pinch the guy, so you can pinch him, like kind of picking a clean area here, and then just blending that out. Some beauty blenders come with more of a tip. Mine kind of lost it after a while. I don't know if you guys can see that, but mine kind of lost the point after a while. I don't know if that's just like excessive use or just washing it all the time, that kind of thing. So yeah, you can just kind of press it into the skin, lightly blend it out, and then kind of smooth everything out again. Boop. Easy peasy. So as you can tell, it gives you like a really easy finish. It's super easy to do your makeup. You could literally paint your whole face on and do it all together. That's another thing I like. Because if you're anything like me, you're kind of all about your brushes, right? That being said, you can do a lot of things. So for example, if I were to put on all my foundation and my concealer, and I could blend out the whole thing in just one step. So you could easily do that as well. You can knock out a lot of time out of your makeup routine and still look flawless. Hi. I'm going to go ahead and choose this matte powder from Sephora, and then I'm also going to show you how I set underneath my eyes with banana powder, because a lot of people were like, oh, you can use powder with this? Yes, you can. So two choices. You can either be like a normal sponge where you swipe it on like that if you want, or I like to kind of dab it in the product and dab and swipe at the same time, sort of, and then I'm just kind of pouncing it onto my skin just to set everything. So whenever I set with powder in general, whether I'm using a sponge or like a velour puff from Laura Mercier, this is what I tend to do anyway. I kind of put it in my fingers and then I do a little bit of a press and roll method. So similar concept, and you'll even find more than likely that this sets your makeup a lot better than just buffing on powder. A lot of people who tend to get really oily love this method. When I was teaching a lot of my clients how to do this, they were like, what? And they were in love. So I love that. I love teaching clients how to use their products and how to better utilize them to what they like. There you go. So now I'm a little bit more mattified. As for setting underneath the eyes, so there's a couple of techniques you can do. Banana powder usually looks like this. I literally just pour mine into the cap usually and then kind of swirl my brush in it. But of course, since I'm using the Beauty Blender, usually I would take either a brush, something like this one from Sedona Lace, or like a wedge sponge and like tap it under my eyes. But again, if you want to use the Beauty Blender, kind of take it right up on there. And I just kind of tap it, and then I just go ahead and dab it. And you can use as much or as little as you like. A lot of people like really go ham with the banana powder. Go for it. No harm. the best way to clean it, you can use brush cleaner if you want to. I have used my MAC brush cleaner. It comes perfectly fine. I actually really enjoy my solid cleanser, the Beauty Blender solid cleanser. It's like a bar of white soap pretty much, because it really gets everything out super fast. Yes, I do wash it every single time I use it, every 1 to 2 times, let's just say, because it depends. A lot of the makeup I have is long wearing, so I don't like it to stay on here. It's a little bit harder to wash, so I do personally prefer to wash it every day because I feel like it upkeeps the quality of it, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to easily clean it. So this is what the solid cleanser looks like. It is a white bar of soap. There is a liquid version of this, but this is so much easier to use, I promise you. I literally just get it wet and then I rub it into the soap and gently massage the soap through to get all the crap out. And I'm kind of squeezing it, massaging it as I go. Just depends on how much product is really stuck on there. I did use quite a lot of products with this today, so this is actually longer than how it usually takes me to clean it. Just depends on what kind of products you use. Long wearing products, of course, kind of take a little bit longer. So I just kind of wet it, rinse it out. Massage it back into the soap, kind of back and forth until everything is out. This literally takes no time at all, literally a few minutes out of your day right after I use it. And I just make sure all the soap is out before I set it out to dry. I usually just put it on the cap, or you can put it in the case that it came in, whichever works for you. This works for me just fine. So this is the finished look. This is how we ended up. I did put a little bit of bronzer with a brush, of course. But other than that, I used those top 5 products. I did do a little brow, put a little mascara. Today's a no makeup day, in case you guys can't tell. So hopefully you guys learned a little something, something. And of course, if you guys have any other questions, you know where to leave them. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!